In a major diplomatic and economic breakthrough, India and the United States have unveiled an interim framework towards a broader bilateral trade deal. Now, the move follows US President Trump's announcement of a trade deal with India, slashing tariffs on Indian goods to 18% from 50%. The interim agreement is expected to be formally signed by the middle of March. Now, the United States has also scrapped that additional 25% tariffs which had been imposed on India over the purchase of Russian oil, though we must add there is no clarity currently if we will continue with purchasing oil from Russia. Now, amid concerns, the Commerce Minister has given firm assurances that India's farmers and sensitive agricultural sectors remain fully protected. The deal opens access to a $30 trillion US market for Indian exporters, benefiting MSMEs, farmers and fishermen. In return, though, India will purchase up to $500 billion worth of US goods over a period of 5 years, spanning energy, aircraft technology and industrial products. A move that New Delhi says reflects rising domestic demand, not binding investment commitment. Let's just listen in to what Mr. Piyush Goyal said.
The United States and the president in DC were creating by saying the kind of things they were. It surely was a very stressful period for you.
Not at all. I don't think with Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji holding our back, any of us has to worry. He ensures that the national interest prevails over everything else. He gives us the confidence to be able to negotiate from a position of strength. And he always encourages us, नेशन फर्स्ट, भारत के हितों की रक्षा करना हमारी जवाबदारी है. And I'm delighted that all through the negotiations, we had Prime Minister Modi's guidance, his leadership, and I don't think we ever felt stressed at all. We already had 200 billion plus bilaterally in goods and services. We are very confident it will take us about 5 or 6 years to go to 500 billion. And this trade agreement, which gives us a competitive advantage, a comparative advantage over all the other nations whom we compete against. So China has 35%, Vietnam has probably 20%. So all our basic countries with whom we compete have a higher rate. We also have a number of zeros, both in farm produce that we export and in industrial goods, which we will continue to export at zero. I think the potential of growing exports to the US is humongous. We need industry to come up to speed. We need them to really go for it, create capacities, enjoy the fruits of economies of scale, ensure we consistently make high quality products. Sky is the limit, as the US ambassador said, limitless potential in this relationship.
All right, limitless potential is what Mr. Piyush Goyal said. That was at the NDTV Profit Conclave that is taking place today. Well, to talk more about the India-US trade deal and this preliminary trade deal that is being arrived at, this agreement, we're now joined by Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Salman Soz, national spokesperson of the Congress party. Now, Mr. Soz, I'd like to start with you because, you know, there is some relief with what the minister said. Commerce Minister categorically saying that India has not opened its doors to any US farm exports. This was a huge concern. What would you say on that?
Well, first of all, I think we have to look at the totality of what this is. This is, first of all, not a bilateral trade deal. This is a framework. This is not even a framework. This is kind of an framework for an interim deal.
Yes, so which we mentioned. We mentioned that at the start. Yes.
Now, the problem is that the way this has been framed, this framework, it's almost like Donald Trump is issuing a royal farman that India is going to be doing this, $100 billion per year over 5 years of imports from our current $40 billion. And that means that our trade surplus with America is essentially going to get wiped out. Second, I think we're not really. I don't think the Commerce Minister talked about the Russia kind of oil deal and what will happen there. He referred us to the Ministry of External Affairs. Just a day after the Ministry of External Affairs, the Minister for External Affairs referred us to the Commerce Minister. So there's some kind of getting us to run around happening in the government. But more importantly, I think the Commerce Minister seems to have not really understood the details of how trade works, because he just said in your bite that our trading partners have higher tariffs. He talked about Vietnam. He talked about China. Let me tell you about Vietnam as an example. Before these tariffs were in 2024, Vietnam faced 4.1% tariffs in America, and India faced 2.3% on industrial goods. Now Vietnam faces 20%, and India faces 18%.
So it is an advantage, a competitive advantage. Yes, it is the age of Trump, and we have to take, these victories where we will get it. So I will come back to you, but Sanju Verma has been waiting very patiently. Yes, Sanju Verma, your response to that, there is a concern that this is being oversold as a big win, whereas, as they say, the devil lies in the detail.
Now I hope I won't be interjected. I heard Mr. Soos very carefully.
No, please go ahead. He raised many points, yes.
Please let me start. I have this to say. I think the interim trade agreement between the United States of America and India is excellent for a couple of reasons. A, it gives us greater leverage. B, it gives our MSMEs, fishermen, farmers access to a $30 trillion market. C, while the general tariffs are 18%, the weighted effective tariff rate is much lower at 14.6%. And the other very important point which I need to highlight for your audience is that tariffs will go down to zero on a whole host of goods, particularly pharmaceuticals, gems, diamonds, aircraft parts, auto parts under Section 232 of the interim trade agreement. But more importantly, I always say that yes, while the devil is in the details, let's not miss the woods for the trees. You cannot look at the India, US trade deal in isolation. Gargi, we have to look at the fact that in the recent past, we've had some, excellent trade agreements. You can call them an FTA, an ETA, a CETA, what have you, with the United Kingdom, with Mauritius, with Sri Lanka, with the UAE, with New Zealand, with Australia, with the ASEAN countries, an ongoing ETA with Saudi Arabia is being explored. Next on the line in terms of an FTA, we have countries lined up. Peru, Brazil, Paraguay,
right,
Uruguay,
Canada and South Africa as well. That's what Mr. Piyush Goyal mentioned.
And my final point is this. I have been in a couple of debates where Congress Darbaris have been saying, so what if the punitive tariffs are down from 25 to 18%? 18% is still on the higher side. Let's get one thing very clear. Under the Congress in 2010, our bilateral trade with the United States of America was barely $32 billion. Today, bilateral goods and services trade with the US is more than $200 billion. Goods trade alone is more than $134 billion. We have a trade surplus of more than $45 billion. And Gargi, don't forget, for the longest time from 2004 to 2014 when the Congress was in power, US was our 17th largest trading partner. In the last 5 years, US has been one of our top 3 trading partners, and we've roped in $69 billion worth of FDI from the US in the last 4 years alone.
All right, Sanju Verma, one question that everybody is asking is what happens? Are we stopping buying oil from Russia? Commerce Minister said the MEA will give details. As you know, Salman Sood said that earlier the MEA had said that the Commerce Minister will give details. What will we make of this? Because the release from the White House says that this is a condition and that they will, watch if in case any direct, indirect purchase of Russian oil. So, what on that?
Let's get one thing very clear. A statement from the MEA and a detailed one at that will be out. And I'm sure, every question, every doubt will be responded to categorically. Having said that, do we already buy oil from Venezuela? Of course we do. Has anybody from the Modi dispensation said anything about stopping oil purchases from Russia? I have not seen any statement. Please enlighten me if you have. So why is Jairam Ramesh jumping up and down gleefully? And I want to say one more thing. Since Jairam Ramesh seems to be completely miffed, this is the same man when he was the environment minister. You know, Gargi, we've heard of Tariff pe Tariff. Jairam Ramesh never cleared any project. It was always file per file per file. Congress epitomized lethargy.
Ma'am, actually, I have to say there that I'm an environment, reporter, and one of the criticisms of Jairam Ramesh that we used to make was that he said a lot, but that he was clearing many projects. So I think that was something that we used to target him over. But yes, Salman Soz, your response to that, we are expecting, as Sanju Verma said, a very detailed, a release from the MEA on this Russian oil issue, and of course all the other points that she made, especially vis-a-vis the competitive, tariffs that we are now facing.
Yes, Gadi, first of all, the people of India know very well what happens in government. You go to one department, they'll make you go to another department, say, udhar se jao, that go to the other person says, go to the other place. The Minister for External Affairs said categorically that the Ministry of Commerce would basically be talking about this issue, the Russian oil. And when we went to Mr. Piyush Goyal, he said the Ministry of External Affairs is going to talk about it. They're giving us a runaround. They think we're fools. But the fact of the matter is that everybody can see that Donald Trump is dictating.
So Sanju Verma just did say that we are going to get a release on that. So we have to await that.
Let me just finish, because Sanju got a lot of time. Let me finish.
Sure.
I want to get to the competitiveness part, because these people are lying to the people of the country. And she called Congress people Darbari. I don't want to call names of these people, but these people have no guts to even be a little bit honest with the people of the country. The point is this: because the minister talked about Vietnam, if Vietnam had almost double the tariff from the US in 2024 compared to India, right now that tariff difference is not double. We have lost competitiveness to Vietnam. I wish somehow somebody could explain to Piyush Goyal that our competitiveness is lower. Not if you're just comparing it to 20%, hamara 18%, then you should see what it was earlier. You compare it to what it was. They have weakened
But
India.
for some products, it will go down to zero as well, as she said, generic drugs, etc., various other.
That is happening to every country.
Can I quickly comment?
The weighted no, wait. I did not interrupt you. Please keep quiet. The weighted
Who are you to lecture me?
No.
Please,
All right, let's wait a minute. Let's wait a minute. Let him
keep
complete
quiet.
the
Please,
point,
please.
Who
ma'am.
the hell are you to lecture me? Stop lecturing me.
Be quiet.
Stop lecturing me.
Please. You speak when. Look, I did not interrupt you.
Don't dare get personal. Don't dare get personal.
All right, just
Do
a
not
moment, Mr.
interrupt
Soz. Just be a little,
Don't think
polite, but
this is
yes,
BJP headquarters.
complete your point.
This is the people of India are watching. This is not your home.
Okay, go ahead, finish your point, then I'll
people-
let Sanju Verma
Lecturing
speak.
me.
The fact of the matter is that our competitiveness is not just defined by what the current rates are. It is also what our previous rates were in comparison to those countries. And in comparison to those countries, whether it's Bangladesh, whether it's Pakistan, whether it is Vietnam, our competitiveness has weakened. And it will come out as the details start coming out.
All right, and Sanju Verma, on this issue of lower US tariffs in competing economies.
10 seconds.
Yes.
Gargi,
India is not the only country that is getting 0% duties on some products. All countries have that. This is not they're making fools of us. You will see as the details come out, they have reduced India's competitiveness.
this cannot be a monologue by the Congress.
Right, all right. And Sanju Verma, I also want to talk about how, you're highlighting India facing lower tariffs, from other competing economies like China that has 35%. So is this deal also being positioned as part of India's geopolitical alignment with the US against China?
I think that's a brilliant question. And I think no trade deal can be isolated from the current geopolitical scenario. And Gargi, let's not forget, today we have many geopolitical headwinds. And the same Congress Darbari ecosystem which says that, we've sold out to Donald Trump. We've sold out our, souls to the United States of America. Tell me one thing. When Prime Minister Modi took charge in 2014, our absolute GDP was $1.8 trillion. Today it is $4.34 trillion, 141% growth. Our annual exports were $300 billion in 2014. Today it is $856 billion, a 185% jump. Our current account deficit, which is very important to any trade deal, was a precarious 6.9% in 2012 under the proxy government of Sonia Gandhi. Today it is 0.8%. Our annual FDI flows under Congress were $10 billion, Gargi. Today our annual FDI inflow is $83.7 billion. So if anything, under Narendra Modi, the dynamics of Indian economy have improved dramatically. And if Jairam Ramesh and the Darbari ecosystem cannot grasp that, I can only say good luck to you. Forget 2029. Even in 2034, you have no chance of coming back to the treasury benches. And my final point is this. Who do we compete with in textiles? Bangladesh, Vietnam, Indonesia. Their weighted average tariff is 20%. Who do we compete with in high value products? It is with China. The weighted average tariff for China is 48.7%. Who do we compete with in palm oil derivatives? We compete with the likes of Malaysia, where the weighted average tariff is 34.8%. Who do we compete with, other edibles?
I'm running out of time. Let me give Salman Soz a chance to respond to that. And also, Salman Soz, one question to you as the opposition, that given, the kind of global uncertainty that we've been seeing, especially an unpredictable US trade policy environment in what we can, talk about as the Trump era, isn't securing some immediate reduction in US tariffs on Indian products, from that extremely high 50% to 18%, even if it's only for now, isn't it a practical win for our exporters?
I want to basically tell the people who are watching the show that when a BJP spokesperson rattles off numbers, that is all they can do because they will not make it. You think that she's speaking numbers and she's very competent and she'll basically, Modi's doing something great. But during the UPA era, GDP tripled. ये तो double भी नहीं हुआ, ये tripled हुआ. Triple is greater than doubled. ये double भी नहीं पहुंचे. So that is just, I just want to tell people of the country.
You are a liar.
Please don't interrupt. Please don't. You have a bad habit.
No,
please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt.
All right, let him finish his point. I'll give you a chance to rebut quickly, Salman Soz.
In this country, you people have lied enough. Let me finish now. She again said that the weighted average, again, people must watch. She said the weighted average tariffs are going to be 18% versus 20%. I'm saying that is correct. But what was the difference in 2024? Their weighted average tariffs were much higher than ours. And that means now our relative competitiveness has declined. These people are making a fool of the country. And remember, these are the same people.
You are a liar.
Who said GST will add 2% to Indian growth? These liars, these people have destroyed our country.
India has overtaken Japan.
All right, one moment.
This is largest economy thanks to Narendra Modi.
Gargi, this is their tactic. They want to shout. They don't want people to speak. She interrupts. That's their tactic. But
no,
I will say one more thing, Gargi. You said, is it not?
All right.
India
quick response, Sanju Verma. We wasted too much time with this talking over one another. But yes, the concern is the opposition is the government is overselling this agreement. We don't have all the details. And this is, as we said, currently a framework for an interim agreement.
Gargi, let me tell you one thing.
If I can,
Gargi, I wanted to respond to you,
and she kept interrupting.
I'm sorry, now I'm completely out of time. I think we wasted too much talking over one another. Thank you both for joining on the program. Apologies over, about this. But yes, we did hear from the BJP spokesperson that we are going to get a statement from the MEA regarding this concern about, buying oil from Russia. Some clarity will be arrived at there. More details, of course, are going to, emerge over the next couple of days. Thank you both for joining us. Thank you all who are watching. Time for us to slip into a short break. News and updates continue right here on NDTV.